What is up, everybody? Seth Dewald here, the editor of PlayerProfiler.com, here to tell you my favorite rookies to draft in redraft in 2023, and we'll get started with Jordan Addison. I know he had the legal spat. English driving arrest is less than ideal, but Jordan Addison is still an exciting player to draft in fantasy. According to CBS News Minnesota, the reason he was driving so fast was because his dog was having an emergency, so I suppose that's a noble reason, but I think the context matters in this situation. It's certainly not as bad as it seemed initially. I don't think his ADP is going to be hurt too much by this fact, but if it is, then you should scoop Addison at a discount. I mean, the Vikings defense wasn't good last season, and it likely won't be good again in 2023. The offense plays really fast under Kevin O'Connell. Last season, the Vikings ranked number 3 in pass attempts, number 3 in team plays per game, number 6 in pace of play at 2.21 plays per minute. And I don't see why this changes in 2023. This means Addison should be involved in the offense right away, considering he was the team's first round pick. Addison also possesses a very intriguing profile. While on the surface, he may not be the most athletic player, when we dig a few levels deeper, we see a player that broke out extremely early at age 18.5, 95th percentile breakout age, and a player who was super productive in college at both Pittsburgh and USA. So make no mistake, this is a talented player entering perhaps the most advantageous year one landing spot with the absence of Adam Thielen. It would seem like Addison is the perfect complement to Justin Jefferson and will fit in with the likes of Hawkinson and Jefferson right away. The team also said goodbye to Dalvin Cook in free agency, which likely means they feel strongly enough about their passing attack to let one of their stud running backs go. So all signs point to Addison being a very intriguing rookie to draft in the FFPC, where he's currently being drafted at pick number 88.4. And in underdog leagues, he's being drafted at pick 73.2 as of July 24th, as of this recording. And at that price, I am in on Jordan Addison. The second rookie we're going to talk about today is Marvin Mims. Marvin Mims also finds himself in a relatively interesting situation. You've likely heard by now that the Broncos traded up to draft Marvin Mims in round 2 of the NFL draft. He's now paired with Russell Wilson, who is a chief candidate for a bounce back season in 2023. And while it is true that Wilson disappointed fantasy managers everywhere, he did play better once Nathaniel Hackett was relieved of his duties. In fact, in the final 4 weeks of the season, Wilson finished as a top 5 QB in fantasy points per game 3 times. Enter Sean Payton. Now, we can sit here and argue about whether it's a good idea for a team to ever give up draft capital for a coach, but that doesn't matter for fantasy football. What matters is if Payton can help Russell Wilson return to his former self. That's what matters, and I'd say he has as good a chance as anyone is doing that. There were also rumors that the Broncos were interested in trading one of or both Courtland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy before the start of the 2023 NFL draft. Then the Broncos told us even more by drafting Marvin Mims with their first pick in round 2 of the NFL draft, trading up to get him. This means the Broncos see this as a position of need, and I'm guessing we hear more rumblings of a trade, possibly of Courtland Sutton, as we approach the NFL trade deadline this season. Now, Mims has the situation we want in a division where there are going to be all kinds of shootouts with the likes of the Chiefs and Chargers. Heck, even the Raiders are going to be able to put up some points with Jacobs, Adams, and Jimmy G as their featured weapons in the offense. Well, what about his profile? Mims possesses elite speed and burst, scoring in the 90th percentile in both categories. He also broke out at an early age, 18.5, and he's also a polished route runner as well. And perhaps what I like most about him is he's an absolute dog who's not afraid to stick his nose in and run block. This is going to get him on the field, and I suspect this is one of the reasons Sean Payton declared him as a must-have player in the NFL draft. At his current price tag of pick number 175.9 in FFPC and 159.4 in underdog drafts, Mims is a must-draft player this year. Must draft. You must come away with Marvin Mims in 2023. Third player we're going to be talking about is Jaden Reed. Let's talk for a minute here why he might be my sleeper pick in all fantasy formats this season. The Green Bay Packers made Reed their second round 2 selection with pick number 50 overall, which came as a surprise to some on draft night. However, it didn't surprise me one bit because this is a team looking to surround their new starting quarterback with weapons, and Reed is a weapon to be sure. Reed possesses good speed and is a good route runner. He also has great hands and even played some special teams in college. His best comparable player on Player Profiler is Stephon Diggs. And to be fair, the comparable player is meant as a what could this player be? But when I watch Reed play, I definitely see some similarities. Needless to say, Reed's a talented player who, as a theme of all the receivers we've talked about so far, broke out really early, 18.4 breakout age, 98th percentile. Reed also produced in a run-happy Michigan State program with less than ideal quarterback play, and in 2021, he accounted for over 1,000 receiving yards. Reed finds himself in a Packers depth chart that includes Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, and the likes of Dontavian Wicks, Malik Heath, and Samori Toure. Remember, Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb made the voyage with Aaron Rodgers to New York, so they're no longer in Green Bay. So this means there's going to be opportunity for the rookie to produce right away in an offense that is going to be playing some weak NFC North defenses throughout the season. Yes, the Lions, their defense is not going to be very good this year. The Bears were one of the worst defenses in the NFL last season, and so were the Vikings, and the Vikings didn't do much to improve their defense. So Reed is definitely worth a shot at his current ADP of 197.2 in FFPC leagues and 170.9 in underdog best ball drafts. The next rookie we're going to talk about, and this is a player profiler video, so we must talk about Roshan Johnson. Roshan Johnson was selected on day 3 of the NFL draft, but he was an early day 3 pick. The Bears even went so far as to call him a franchise pillar when they drafted him. Johnson produced in college while playing behind Bijan Robinson. I know some people will think that Khalil Herbert or Devonta Foreman have the inside track to gain the most running back carries and opportunities, and this might be true at least to start the year, but Johnson is the player they have most invested in, and he's the player who has the best pass catching skills, and he's got the best pass protection skills as well. So he's clearly entering his rookie season. He is the most versatile running back the Bears have, and frankly, it's not very close. And fantasy gamers are starting to catch on, so don't be too late to the Roshan Johnson party. The Bears are likely going to rely heavily on their running game once again, and therefore each of these running backs is likely going to have a role. However, the running back with the most upside is clearly Johnson. In FFPC leagues, Johnson is being drafted at pick 124.6, and in underdog best ball leagues, he's being drafted even later at 151.2. Go get yourself Roshan Johnson. Thank me later. We're going to talk about a quarterback to end the video. Anthony Richardson is the quarterback that you're going to want from this rookie class. This is a fantasy football cheat code. Richardson is the most athletic quarterback we have seen come into the NFL. And while this is a risky pick, it's the kind of pick that if you hit, you get the upside of a Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, heck, even a Jalen Hurts without paying the price tag for one of those players. A draft strategy that I'm implementing across all of my leagues is pairing Richardson with a safer quarterback to avoid paying up for one. A quarterback like Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones, heck, even Russell Wilson would provide the floor with the upside of an Anthony Richardson. So the downside and the range of outcomes are very harsh with this pick. Richardson could have a steep learning curve given his low completion percentage of 53% in college, but I'm always someone who bets on talent, and Richardson has plenty of talent with some teammates in Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman that should help him out as he develops. The rushing upside for Richardson is as high as leading the NFL in rushing at the quarterback position. You heard me right. And like I said, it's a risk, but it's a risk, in my opinion, that's worth taking, especially if you pair him with a safer option at quarterback. Currently, he's going at pick 124.3 in FFPC leagues and at pick 104.5 in underdog best ball leagues. Thank you so much for watching the video. Go to Player Profiler right now, and we will catch you later. Bye-bye.